I've built my business to over £1.5 million in sales while running it in less than an hour a day. And the reason I've been able to do that is because of systems like the ones that I'm about to show you today. Because the truth is, most e-commerce founders are drowning in repetitive tasks. And if your business still relies on you or your small team to do all of this manually, then you're already falling behind. So in this video, I'll show you the 3 proven AI systems that are giving e-commerce founders the edge today, while cutting your workload by 50% and still increasing your customer experience. So the first one is Vapi Voice Agent. And a voice agent is an AI service that answers your phone calls for you and sounds human-like. Let me give you a quick example. Okay, let's give an example now of how we can use you on an e-commerce business. So if I was a customer and I wanted to buy a hot tub and I wanted to know what temperature the water was out, can you tell me that by looking at the product details?
Sure, I'd say, hey, I don't have real-time data on the water temp, but usually hot tubs have adjustable temps around 100 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Want me to check the specific product details for you?
That's okay. And for example, if I was using you for an e-commerce business, would you be able to give me order tracking updates? And could you tell me about the returns policy?
Yeah, I could do order tracking updates if your system is set up for it. And I can tell customers about your returns policy if it's integrated. Basically, I can handle those questions smoothly if you connect me to your info. Want me to help set that up?
Now, why is that important? Because most brands ignore phone support because it's too resource heavy and expensive to have high quality customer service answering the phone. It's certainly too expensive to have customer service VAs answering the phone 24/7 all week, all year round. Well, now that doesn't need to be the case because Vapi is a fairly low cost service that I use to answer calls from my customers at any time of day throughout the night. And I can give it all of the tools, all of the knowledge that I need to give it so it can answer as many questions as possible without needing to go to my virtual assistants. The way I've got it set up now is that after 5 p.m. and up until 9 a.m. when my virtual assistants start the next day, all phone calls will be directed to my voice agent, and we can then listen back to the recordings of how the voice agent handled the customer queries. In 80% of the cases, we don't need to follow up immediately because we can see that the voice agent has handled that customer query well. And then the 20% that we do get back to straight away are the people that have got urgent issues, or if we need to get back to get someone over the line and call them the next day to get them over the line. And it's so much better than what I had before, which was just sending people to voicemail. Now, it's so exciting to see where voice agents are going and how realistic they're starting to sound and how much workload you can take away from you and still deliver incredible service to your customers. But you might be wondering, aren't customers going to be noticing an AI voice and think it's weird to speak to a robot? Well, you heard that example there, and you can hear that voice AI is becoming increasingly more human. They start to say they use filler words, they breathe on the phone, and it starts to sound human-like. And the vast majority of callers that call up to our company never realize that they're speaking to an AI. Plus, if you're worried that customers will be annoyed at having a robot answer the phone, then you can just escalate it to a human to pick up immediately if needs be. But the benefit is that you have 24/7 service to answer calls, get customers over the line with the support that you can provide, and a voice agent doesn't need to take time off sick leave or holidays, etc. They're working all year round. Now, system number 2 is ChatGPT, but probably in a way that you've never used it before. Now, the way I use ChatGPT is in multiple ways across my e-commerce business, but specifically the one that I found the most useful is through answering customer service inquiries, and specifically difficult expert product related questions. So, as a store, you may not know every single answer about every question your customer has about your products, and even if you do, your virtual assistants will most likely not be able to, or your staff members that you've brought in won't be able to answer detailed questions about the products that you sell straight away within an instant. Well, that all changes when we use AI because we can use ChatGPT to read our product information and relay that to our customers immediately. So watch this example now where I walk you through the process that we use with my team to use ChatGPT to answer difficult questions. So let me show you just how simple it is to use ChatGPT to answer customer related questions. I've got an SOP here, standard operating procedure, that I share with my clients to show you how to implement this into your business. The first step is to export your product data from Shopify. So in the product section, click export, export it as a CSV, all products, and go ahead and that will export and be sent to your email address. Step 2 then, as we go through this SOP, is to open a new chat in ChatGPT, call it something that you can reuse in the future, and then paste this link as well as the file that we've just exported from Shopify. So we're in ChatGPT. I've just input the file that I've exported and send it with the prompt that's in the SOP. And then we'll move on to the next question, which is now to wait for customer questions and send those customer questions into the chat that we've just created, because ChatGPT now has access to all of our product data to answer difficult product related questions. So ChatGPT might take some time to absorb it, but it can see now that it's absorbed. It's got all that information of all of your products. So then when you receive a customer question like that, you would say a customer has asked, is the dropship or not sweatshirt 100% cotton? Or any product question that you get from your customers, tell your virtual assistants to enter that into this ChatGPT chat that we've created. The AI will then look through all of your product data and answer any question related to your products without your VA or you having to do the digging through your product information. You can see how you don't need to become a product expert to answer difficult questions immediately, and straight away you have a question that you have a reply that ChatGPT has created for you, and you can send that back to your customers in an instant. And that's just how simple this process is. Obviously, we need to review and edit the response. Make sure you're definitely happy with it. Make sure before you send anything, you're checking that it's accurate. But once you've sent to the customer, you can see how now this process we can rinse and repeat every time we get a difficult customer question and use that to answer our questions quickly and accurately with AI. Now, with that example, you can see how exciting it is to get immediate answers. And some of the biggest perks of this is that we haven't got to spend ages training staff to be experts on the products that we sell. We can do this in a moment's notice. And if we're handling multiple inquiries, we can get quick responses to our customers. And once you've set up an SOP and you've got a virtual assistant manning it, you can take the step away as a brand owner and know that your customers are getting expert questions answered immediately. Now, on to the third AI system that I use, and it's revolutionized the way we look after customers, and that is an AI chatbot. Now, specifically, I use the Tidio app in my Shopify store, and we've upgraded to use the Lyro AI assistant. First, let me show you how simple it is to get that installed. So let me show you now how you set up a chatbot for your e-commerce business. And the one that I like to use is through Tidio. So Tidio is a live chat provider. They've recently really invested and spent time to improve their agent called Lyro. So you can just go in when you install Tidio as your app on Shopify, you go ahead and click set up Lyro and make sure it's connected to your Shopify store. And because you've installed it as an app, it won't take long in order to do that. And then the first thing it's asking for now is for Lyro to learn about your website. So I just click let's go, and it's now crawling the site, crawling all the pages, all the sub pages, looking at the product information, looking at our contact details, about page. All of the relevant information that we've got on our website is being crawled now by Lyro, so it can use that information to answer customer questions. It was as quick as that, and it's just been through the process. We then just need to install the widget and make sure that's live on our site by going into the theme editor. So inside my demo store, and you do this on yours as well, go to online store after you install Tidio, go to customize, go to app embeds, and make sure the Tidio one is turned on, and click save. And then that can then be live as quick as that on your website. See, it just takes 30 seconds to get that live. Once you've done that, you can then change the appearance of how it looks on your store. You can give it a name, and you can continue to train it. And while you're waiting for that widget to be activated, you can see here in the Lyro AI agent section, you can then give it knowledge. So you can give it data sources such as files. You can see all the pages that it's been tracking to get this information from. You can make sure it has your product database, which will come through in a minute as well. And there's loads of ways to train this. And then you can use the playground, and this will give you a demo of how it works. So I'm going to ask a question as a customer. And a very common question that you'll get as an e-commerce business owner is the average delivery time for your products. And Lyro will actually look through your product information and give you the average delivery. Now that's how quick that has been to set up, and it already has read through the information and given accurate estimated delivery date based on our website. And the great thing about this is you can monitor this with virtual assistants. They will update this if there's any incorrect information being given out, and they can also take over from Lyro if needs be. But it's the best way to handle the majority of answers without needing to go through to a virtual assistant, and it will answer it overnight. And you can see how quick and easy it is now to set up and give it all the knowledge of your Shopify store. Now, you can see the possibilities with when you give it files, policies, product information, warranty information. Your chatbot will answer the vast majority of questions without needing to escalate it to a human to answer the questions. And so the way I've got it set up now is that our AI chatbot is the first port of call whenever customers send a message to our live chat. But if a customer asks to speak to a human, then between the hours of 9 and 5, you can set it up to go to your virtual assistant to take over that conversation. And in the off hours, we can make a ticket. And so our VAs can pick that up when they come back into work the next day. Now, this means we've got 24/7 service of our live chat, the same as the way we've got 24/7 service with our phones using the VAPI voice agent from before. So at any hours, whether your customer wants to chat with you on a live chat, or if they want to give you a phone call, you can answer them at 3, 4 a.m. whenever they are ready to purchase. Now, a rejection you might have for using a chatbot is you might get annoyed and think it's clunky when you speak to AI and they can never answer your responses. Well, the way you overcome that is by continually training your Lyro AI chatbot through Tidio to answer difficult questions by giving it more knowledge and telling it how to improve. And remember, the catch-all for all of this is that your VAs can take over from your chatbot if they ever see that there's a mistake being made. And remember, if you're pairing your virtual assistants with the ChatGPT system that I showed you in the previous step, then you have expert answers coming from virtual assistants, you have a chatbot that's answering at all hours of the day, you'll have set up your voice agent from the start so you've got phone calls answered as well, and so you as the founder can focus on what you need to be focusing on, which is strategy for the big picture of how you're going to scale and just looking at the metrics that really make a difference to grow your brand. So with that said, hope you enjoyed these 3 AI systems. If you want my help in deploying these into your business, then feel free to book in a call and we can chat about where your business can be systemized, outsourced, automated, so that you as the founder can just focus on running the business and scaling it to achieve your goals. So with that said, hope you enjoyed the video today and I'll catch you in the next one.